Hey beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. I'm Josie with Awakened Soul, and we're here for a reading about the person on your mind and the connection you share with each other. I'm so glad you're here with me today, and I hope you're having a fabulous day or night whenever you're joining in for today's reading. In our pop-up reading here today, we're going to be talking about you versus them in this connection. Basically, where you stand, what's going on within you, what's going on within them in this dynamic, and within the connection itself. We're going to get started with the oracle cards that I've pulled for us. You are intended to be on the left-hand side over here, your person on the right, and then in the very center, this solo card is meant to represent the energy of the connection. If you do find yourself like roles reversed, that's a-okay. You'll just have to flip the script as I'm speaking here today. And if you happen to see mirroring going on between both, like if you see parts of yourself in here, parts of your person over here, vice versa, that's more than likely indicating that there's some mirroring going on within both of you. So as I'm speaking, you'll have to just flip the script a little bit if that's the case. Always take messages how they resonate, if they resonate, and when they resonate, especially in collective readings as we are reading for multiple people here today. Anyway, as I was saying, we're going to get started with the oracle cards, and then we're going to do the same thing using the tarot. I'm going to pull some for you, some for your person, and likely some for the connection as well. Later on in the reading, we're going to dive into some channeled messages from your person to you. We'll also pull some tiles, charms, and astrology dice for bonus confirmation, info, symbolism, you name it. And then as always, I'll end today's reading with a message just for you. I'm also going to be doing an extended for today's reading. That's going to be more focused on your person. So not necessarily you, them, and the connection, but what's going on within your person, their overall honest thoughts and feelings about you. We may get some of that here today, but we're going to dive a little deeper in the extended. So if this reading resonates and you'd like to know more, you're welcome to join us. I'll put it on my Patreon. You can find a link down below in the description box at the very top or the pinned comment. And if you join us on Patreon, you will get access to hundreds of additional extended and exclusive readings. I also recently added a second tier to my Patreon as well, with bonus exclusives, because right now the majority of my Patreon channel is for extended readings, but I did add a second tier recently that will be focused on everything plus bonus exclusives. So you get a good bang for your buck. We'd love to have you join our community over here and over there. Both are beautiful communities. So, all right, you guys, let's get into the reading. So over here on the left is intended to be you, represented with the wolf and the shark, the king and the empty room. Your person over here on the right is represented with the elk and the bear, the eternal child and the mother. I was planning on reading for you first, but your person's energy is coming through really strong for me. I'm already getting some messages channeling through. Stubbornness is coming through very, very strongly. We have two earth elements representing them here, so it's quite possible that maybe they have strong earth sign placements in their chart. We'll pull some astro dice later on in the reading for extra confirmation there. Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo placements could be significant. Their sun, moon, rising sign, quite also possible that maybe they have a stellium with an earth element, you name it. Okay, so why not? We're gonna hop back to you. I keep your person is wanting to come through really strongly, but my intuition is saying we need to talk about you first. So I'm gonna listen to my gut here. If I do have extra stuff come through from your person, I keep wanting to point my finger and say you need to wait your turn. So maybe it's possible that your person likes to interject a lot while you're talking to them. Maybe they're the type of person that always wants to have the last word, or they might interrupt a lot while you're talking because they keep wanting to say you need to wait your turn. So if that sounds like your person, that's extra confirmation for you. But anyway, we're going to try to focus on you first. So, something's been bugging you for a while now, I feel. I don't think that this is a new connection for most of you watching. If it happens to be a new connection, I feel like you're definitely experiencing some past patterns resurfacing. Because this is something that's been circling you for a while. And if it's not within this connection, it's something that's kind of hopping from connection to connection to connection. It's a repeating pattern. So take it as it resonates for you. I'm going to go into this reading with the assumption you have history with this person. If you know that this is a new connection, you'll have to just apply it to past connections, okay? Just to keep it simple for the collective, so I'm not jumping all over the place, okay? What seems to be circling you is a need for like blendings, like basically a need for a really, really strong union, okay, to put it simply. This could involve, having kids, starting a family, blending, a family together. Like if you have kids from a previous relationship, or if this person or people in your past have had that situation. For you, having like your family unit be strong and deeply connected is something that's really, really important to you. And it's something that's been circling for a while. So I feel like if this is your reading, having a family, having a marriage or a formal union, a serious relationship is something that you've wanted for a really long time. It's something that won't go away. It's constantly like, you might almost feel like your time is running out, the clock is ticking, like you're almost getting impatient with it. Maybe you've always wanted a very serious relationship, but maybe previous connections didn't work out that way, or you've been waiting for more commitment from this person for quite some time. But that's something that's like circling you beneath the surface, always kind of lurking there, rearing its head all the time, and it won't go away. And I feel like you are in this energy of waiting with this empty room. Like you feel like maybe this connection is still a blank canvas, or your life in a way is a blank canvas, and you're kind of waiting to fill in the spots. If you think of like a literal empty room, like right before you move into a new house or a new apartment or something, it's like you walk in there and it can sometimes feel refreshing because you feel like it's a fresh start, but at the same time you're like, okay, I don't want to live in this empty house. I want to start filling it up with my stuff. I want to put a couch here. I want to put a bed there. I want, my paintings, my decorations up on the wall. Like it can feel like a fresh start, which is all good, great, and grand in the very beginning, but you don't want to live in an empty room. You don't want to live in an empty house. And I feel like that's kind of how you're feeling in this connection right now, where you're like maybe waiting for this person to make moves, or you're waiting for more commitment to happen, or you're waiting to finally be able to plant some roots with them, but it keeps feeling like an empty room or a blank slate. Like you're kind of in this energy of, okay, are we doing this thing? Is this going somewhere? What's happening here? I want to decorate. I want to put my paintings up on the wall. I want to pick out a couch and actually sit and be in comfort. I don't want to just stand here in a blank room anymore. I want to know what's going on, okay? That's the energy I see you in. And I do see a lot of divine masculine energy coming from you right now. Everybody has both. We all have divine masculine and divine feminine. You don't have to be a masculine or resonate with being masculine for this to be your reading, just to be crystal clear. But I do see that your divine masculine energy is very, very strong right now, okay? You're wanting to take the lead. You might be the one bringing things up in conversation. You might be the one who is getting impatient, saying, hey, where's this thing going? This has been bugging me for a while. Are we doing this thing? Are we a unit? Is this going somewhere serious or not? Because otherwise I need to figure it out. That's your kind of vibe, okay? So you might be the one bringing things up in conversation or trying to lead the way here. Now with your person, first, I just heard patience, okay? Your person is coming across with a very, very slow moving type of energy, which could be part of why maybe you're getting a little bit impatient or frustrated. What I'm seeing within them in this connection is that they're only just starting to wake up, okay? Maybe this person never wanted a serious relationship in the past. Could also be that maybe this is their first serious relationship or connection, or the first time they've ever saw that as even being possible if you guys aren't like official with each other yet. Maybe they've always chosen casual connections in the past, or it's quite possible that maybe, I just heard spoiled, okay? So maybe this person has been spoiled in the past. Maybe they are the type of person that had life just handed to them when they were younger, or they always got their way. They were always the recipient of things. They never really had to work too hard. They kind of just got whatever it is they wanted. I just heard spoiled brat. I'm not trying to be rude to your person. I'm getting a lot of really like firm and hard energies coming from them, like stubbornness, spoiled energy. I just heard entitlement. Please don't come at me. Like, I'm really not trying to go at your person right now, but I'm hearing a lot of like words come through on their side when I didn't really have a lot of that on your side. So I feel like your person is very stubborn in a lot of ways. They know what they want. They get what they want. They're used to getting exactly what they want. And they're kind of coming into this connection with that attitude of, it's my way or the highway. I get what I want. I do what I want. I don't want people telling me what to do. They're kind of coming into it with that type of attitude, okay? In a way, I would read that as immaturity. We do have that coming through with not the inner child, but that came out, so they might have inner child wounds. The external child, okay? It's interesting that we have the eternal child and the mother coming out as their two archetypes, which is telling me maybe they have a mother wound. They might not have gotten proper nurturing when they were younger. They could have like a wounded feminine energy as well. That's quite possible. The interesting thing about them is that the elk represents divine masculine energy. So I see that coming through strongly on your side. Your person's got a lot going on right now and they're just starting to wake up. Honestly, the vibe I'm getting from them is that they did not take life that seriously in the past. They were kind of used to getting whatever they wanted, flying by the seat of their pants. They were kind of in an immature energy, right? And they might be just starting to wake up in a lot of ways, including awakening their own divine masculine energy, where they go after what they want in the world. They actually, have goals, aspirations, ambition to pave a way for themselves. I feel like your person in a way was spoiled. That doesn't necessarily mean that they grew up, wealthy or anything like that, but I feel like they got quite comfortable in connections in the past where they got what they wanted. Life was just handing them whatever they asked for. They didn't actually have to have goals because they kind of just naturally got what they wanted. They weren't thinking ahead towards the future. They're just starting to do that. And I feel like you're coming through with a much more serious, convicted energy where it's like, you know what you want. You know what your goals are. You almost feel like there's a ticking time clock, always like pushing you towards more seriousness, more groundedness in your life, okay? Your person is very much the opposite. They're kind of like, yeah, it is what it is. I get what I want anyway. I don't really have goals. They're only just starting to wake up to the seriousness of life, okay? There's a little bit of an immature energy to them, okay? And their energy in general is kind of like all over the place. They don't, it's a little bit chaotic within them right now. And it's interesting because the center joining card of the connection itself is represented with the warrior, which is telling me there's like a deep battle going on between the two of you over this with the contrasting energies. We have a very carefree, not serious, entitled kind of vibe coming from your person. We have a very serious, very detail-oriented, structured type of energy coming from you. We have two opposites, and there's a clash going on energetically and behind the scenes. There's clashing going on. So that's what I'm seeing. I want to get into the tarot next and see what else we can get out for you guys, okay? So that might provide some deeper details as to why this is going on, what's going on. Okay. All right, so we're gonna start by pulling some tarot for you, then I'm gonna switch decks and pull some tarot for your person. If the readings resonated so far, let me know by hitting that like button and subscribing. It really helps my work out. And also, I would love it if you joined our community over here. We'd love to see more of you. Okay? All right, so we're talking about you first. I just heard go-getter mentality. Yeah, you're a very spirited person. Like, you are a very strong-willed type of person, and I love that for you. I love that about you. Okay, you know what you want in this world, and you go after it. Okay, you have a very healed and strong divine masculine energy to you, where it's like if you have a goal in mind, you go full force towards that. You're very ambitious. You're very direct, I feel, as well. Like, if you want something, you speak up about it. You don't just keep it to yourself. And I keep wanting to say I love that about you. So that could also be coming from your person. Maybe that's something they admire about you because they're so different and they really appreciate that contrast. I'm not surprised that their first card is the Knight of Wands. Not surprised at all, because that's... They do come across as a Knight of Wands character based on what we were just chatting about with the Oracle cards, okay? So let's actually talk about your person first, because they, like what happened in the first spread, like they want to come through first. They're like, no, me first, talk about me. I have messages. And it's like, my intuition is like, no, I want to read about the viewer first, but they're coming through so strong, like, no, me, like the person in the background raising their hand, like higher and higher, like waving it to get your attention, like, no, me first. Like, that's your person's energy. They may be a last born child, I just heard. So it could be that maybe they have a big family and they could be the youngest. They could have been the last born, especially if you've done like birth order type of research. They do say that there's like different personality traits tend to come out more based on your birth order. I'm getting like oldest child, only child vibes from you. Your person is coming through with like youngest child, last born type of vibes. Okay, that doesn't have to be the case, but if it resonates, you're welcome to take it. Okay, so like I said, we have the Knight of Wands, the Two of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the Star. Wow. Okay, so this is confirming what we were just chatting about. Your person has been a Knight of Wands character. Not gonna lie to you, they may have had like a player type of energy and connections in the past, where maybe they preferred casual relationships, casual hookups. Maybe they did not want commitment. In fact, they could have, or maybe still do to some degree, have a stance of they don't like formal commitment. They don't want to be locked down. They like their freedom. They want to do whatever they want whenever they want to do it. They don't want somebody holding them accountable. They don't want somebody restricting their freedom. They want to do whatever they want whenever they want to do it. Kind of like that spoiled, entitled type of vibe, okay? But there is a but to this before you scroll away. We have the Two of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the Star. So this is telling me that your person, like I said, with their bear energy, is starting to wake up to this vibe, not feeling so hot anymore, not feeling so fulfilling. They're likely aging, and maybe they need to start taking life seriously. Like maybe it's time to actually start settling down or planning for a future. They may be aging to a point where they're starting to recognize that, you know, being a player and, you know, just hooking up with people or having casual relationships really isn't fulfilling to them. They're not getting anywhere. Maybe they're at this point where they're realizing, hey, maybe I should start thinking about buying my first home or settling down with somebody and starting a life, having a family. I think that's starting to creep in, and they're starting to wake up to that actually being a desire and a want that they have, not something that feels restricting, but something that feels fulfilling to them. With the Two of Swords, we're getting this energy of being blindfolded. So maybe they're starting to also recognize that maybe they were viewing commitment or serious relationships through a deluded or delusional lens in the past. And I see your person wanting to wake up to this fresh start with you. I think that in a way you've inspired them to maybe try living a different type of life or having a different type of relationship with the Ace of Cups. This connection that the two of you have feels different to them. You're bringing out emotions in them they didn't feel before. The soul contract, the soul connection the two of you have is kind of pushing this person into a growth mindset. Instead of feeling restricted by bonding with another person, they're starting to feel fulfilled by it. And that's hard for their ego. And their ego is still kind of pushing back a little bit because they've gotten quite used to their Knight of Wands ways. And their ego, as everyone's ego, doesn't like the change. The ego tends to resist change and stick with what feels familiar because the ego likes to stay with what feels familiar. That's why when we experience Dark Night of the Soul, for example, it's very, very uncomfortable because our ego is breaking down and the ego does not like that very much, okay? You're losing a sense of your perceived identity when that happens. And so that's kind of what's going on with your person right now. But it also feels very good to them. I just got an image of like looking out onto a sunset or a sunrise. I think your person is starting to warm up to the idea that maybe it is time for them to walk into a new chapter of their life and leave their old ways behind, okay? But again, it's definitely a sunrise, not a sunset, because they keep giving me this metaphor of just waking up, okay? So it's only the beginning with this person. It's not something that they've already had a huge epiphany on and their life is going to change forever. They're just starting to open their eyes and wake up to this, like somebody's just taken off the blindfold and they're seeing the sunrise for the first time in a long time, okay? So keep that in mind. With you, we have Strength, the Knight of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Ace of Pentacles. Not shocked that that came out for you. You've already gone through this, okay? I feel like you have a lot more emotional intelligence than this person does, okay? You're probably very emotionally intelligent. You have likely already been through a series of relationships, a series of losses. You've already gone through a healing journey. Maybe you've already been in a serious relationship, such as a marriage or a really long-term relationship that you've had to grieve, let go of, heal from. And so now it's like you know what you want. You've known what you've wanted the whole time, but now you have standards, you have boundaries, you have non-negotiables. You're like, don't waste my time. I'm ready to get married. I'm ready to be in a real relationship. I'm ready to build a life with somebody. I'm ready to finally celebrate and enjoy my life, and I don't want to be around somebody who's going to waste my time, okay? I've already wasted my time. Maybe you've already been through a divorce or a really difficult breakup. Maybe you've already been through several seasons of your life and you're like, yeah, nah, I've been there, done that. I'm over that. I just want something serious and real now. Thanks, okay? Please and thank you. You're already ready for this new beginning. You're ready for it. And I think you see potential in this connection. You really, really do. And you're ready to kind of just like rush in and make it happen already. Like you're almost getting impatient. Like we're talking about with the empty room. You have already cleaned the slate from previous relationships and connections. You've already done your healing work. You are already like a clean slate, ready to start again. You're like just waiting to decorate the room and start putting things together. And you're getting a little impatient because you've been standing in this empty room for so long. You're like, okay, yeah, I would really like to like sit down, maybe watch some TV. I want to put food in the fridge. Are we doing this thing or not? Like, that's what I'm getting from you, okay? The Four of Wands does represent unions, marriages, celebrations, parties, anniversaries. I think having a serious relationship is important to you. That's what you're going after. You're ready for it. You feel like you're ready for it because you've already done a lot of your inner work. Just keep in mind, your person is just starting to wake up here. So I guess it's like you're coming across with this Knight of Swords energy where you're like rushing it, you're wanting to rush in. This person is only just starting to open their eyes. So I am not going to tell you what to do. It is not my place to do that. What I will say is that if this reading resonates, it's likely that your person's going to need more time than you feel like you need. So it's going to be up to you whether or not you feel like you can be patient with them and wait, because I don't see your person coming in with the same energy you have, where they're like ready to go for it. They're ready to rush in. They're not the same as you. So you're going to have to decide what you're willing to wait for, if this is worth it to you, how long you're willing to wait, because I don't necessarily think it's gonna happen today or tomorrow. I may pull some cards for you in the extended on top of what I was already planning on doing. So if you're curious, you're welcome to join for that extended. Like I said earlier, in case you missed it, I'll put a link below in the description box and the pinned comment for you. So what we're going to do next is tiles, charms, and astrology dice. Then I'll pull some channeled messages from your person. This section is meant to be for bonus confirmation, so you may see important words, names, symbols, astrology placements. If anybody wants to be awesome and comment the astrology placements that come out for us below for the collective, you're the best. I would love you for it. I'm going to roll this 3 times. This could be placements in your chart, their chart, or maybe in both of your charts, okay? We have Virgo, South Node, and Venus. Somebody could be a Virgo, South Node, or Venus. We have Libra, Saturn, and Sun. Somebody could be a Libra, Saturn, or Sun. We have Cancer, Mercury, and Venus. Cancer, Mercury, and Venus. And let's do one more. We have Aquarius, Moon, and Uranus. Aquarius, Moon, and Uranus. Okay. Okay. That landed in my hand. It like flew off the table, it landed in my hand. Okay. Somebody's name could start with a V. Victor, Victoria, Victrum. I don't know very many V names, unfortunately. We have V, E, U, N, N, N. Okay, so N's could be important. I heard Nelson. Okay. And an I and an X. Okay. Vixen, I guess we could spell Vixen. Foxes could be important, okay? We have a cross and we have a footprint, okay? I just heard you're ready to get going. I didn't mean to spin it in a circle. You're ready to get moving. You're ready to get going. You're ready to start walking your path. Like you're already on the road, like waiting to see if this person's gonna come along with you or not. And then we have a cross here. Somebody could have traditional religious values. Maybe you're the type of person that wants to wait until marriage, for example. Maybe you want to have like a traditional type of lifestyle according to certain religious beliefs. That's quite possible. Let's get out some channeled messages from your person now. What they would say to you if they felt like they could be totally honest, totally open right now, without holding anything back. Yeah, your person has a tendency to, I just heard, live the high life, whatever that means for them. Like they're always looking for adventure, excitement, freedom to do whatever they want, whenever they want. They might have a tendency to get bored easy in their life, so they're always looking for the next thrill, the next exciting adventure. I'm not shocked that that came out. Okay, but your person is maturing. They're growing and they are healing a lot more than you might be seeing on the surface. We have unsatisfied. I wasn't happy the way things were going. That's what we were just talking about. Secrets. I haven't told you everything. Reciprocity. I want to have equal give and take. And mend. I want to fix our connection. And I think this is referring to these two cards. They haven't told you that secretly they are starting to want something serious in their life. Maybe they're wanting to come across as lighthearted and carefree and playful and not taking life too seriously, that non-committal, but deep down inside they are wanting a partner. They're wanting healing. They're wanting to mend their own broken heart. They're wanting growth, but they might not let you know that because they're They're scared. I think to some degree they might be afraid of commitment because they're afraid they'll go all in and then somebody's going to try to control them. Maybe they grew up with a very controlling parent or parental figure who was trying to control what they did all the time, and that could be a wound, like an inner child wound they still carry. Okay, I gotta keep this for the thumbnail. What have I been saying about your person the whole dang reading? I'm starting to wake up. Like I said, your person is starting to wake up. They're only just starting to like realize that they need to step into their adult life and stop being so immature all the time. Okay. And I'm not trying to knock your person. I'm really not trying to rip on them or tear them a new one. I get a slightly immature energy from them. Like they just have not been taking life that seriously. And everybody gets to live life their own ways, okay? If that's how your person wants to live their life or has been wanting to live their life, they have every right to do so. Some people want more serious things than other people do. I just think you and your person may be a bit different with that, okay? We also have, you are so magnificent. I feel so stuck. Are you ready for it? I wish we talked more. So, your person's ego is still pushing back on them, but you have stood out to them in ways that I don't think they saw coming. Okay, maybe they went into this thinking it would be another casual relationship, casual situation. Then they started catching feelings for you that they didn't expect to, and now you're kind of changing the way they view things. They're just starting to wake up to different desires, different beliefs. But it's a process for them, okay? So what we're gonna do next is get out a few messages just for you now. After that, I'm gonna hop into the extended. So you are welcome to join for the extended. Like I mentioned, it will be linked down below in the description box and or the pinned comment. Okay, so your first personal message is, live your life to its fullest potential. Let go of the need for approval from others. Live up to your own expectations and nobody else's. No more selling yourself short. Keep moving forward. You've got this. And your affirmation of the day, I invite you to affirm with me below in the comments with the collective. Today, I feel worthy. Today, I will accept all the wonderful things in this life. Beautiful. All right, you guys, I'm going to pack up. I'm going to get ready for the extended. I would love to see you over there, but if you're leaving me here, I want to thank you again for being a part of this reading, for joining. I would love to see you for a future reading, and I hope you have a blessed rest of your day or night. Bye for now.